I'm still a little bit out of breath because I'm just now leaving the gym. I got a story to tell, and I don't know if I have time to tell it before I get home. So I wanted to get going, see if I can knock this out in 10 minutes. I was dispatched on a run today, and it was an extremely loud and heated argument between a mother and her 12-year-old son. They were both extremely angry and both at their wits' end. I separated them and I told them each separately. I said, listen, I understand what you're going through. I am on your side. If you feel like this is going to happen again, please call and I will come and try to help you. I said that to each person. Now, if these are two people that were involved in a very spirited and angry confrontation and argument with each other where they were not able to get along, they were diametrically opposed from each other, but I told them each that I was on their side. Is it possible for me to make that statement and not be lying? Or did I lie to one of them, or did I lie to both? So the run that I was dispatched on today, it was actually called in from a school principal. The school principal said that this student had to be kicked out of, or was not kicked out of school, but was sent home from school today for fighting. When the child's mother responded to pick up the child, the principal said that she saw the mother hitting the child and she didn't feel that it was appropriate, wanted the police to go and do a welfare check on the child. We get to the house, knock on the door, and a very, very angry and loud black woman comes to the door. I don't remember exactly what we said. But we said something to the matter of, "Hey, is this your name?" And she said yes. And we said, "Something going on with your son? Do you want to tell us about that?" And she said, "That's right. I beat his ass. He got in trouble for, I guess this kid allegedly punched a special needs student at the school." So she said that, she had different words for it. Said that he was hitting this kid and she's tired of him getting kicked out of school. So she went and got him and she beat that effing ass, were the words that came out of her mouth. And we said, "Well, can we talk to your son? We need to make sure that he's okay." She said, "That's fine. You guys can do whatever you want. I'll go get him for you. And I'm not even going to stand out here. I'll give you your space so he can say whatever he wants." So kid comes out. We asked the kid initially, "What's going on between you and your mom?" And he said that his mom was punishing him. And I said, "Do you think your mom did anything inappropriate?" He said, "No, she didn't." And he kind of laughed at the idea that the police would be getting involved in this situation. This kid is 12 years old. 12-year-old male black with dreads past his ears. I said, "Are you hurt or injured in any way?" And he said, "No." Once again, he kind of laughed at that question. I said, "Are you fearful, or do you feel that you're not safe here with your mother?" And he said, "No." And then the conversation kind of stalled. You could tell that he was just kind of looking at us. I asked him what he said to his mom when he got home. He said that he apologized. And I asked if that calmed her down and if she just got all animated again when we showed up and knocked on the door. And he said, yes, my apology seemed to work. She got really upset again when the police showed up at the house, which is completely understandable. It kind of brought back all those emotions in her. So then I asked him about the fighting and stuff at school, and he told me that some kid called him a bitch and he didn't want to let that stand, so he punched the kid and he got sent home from school for 3 days. This is not the first time that he's been sent home from school, so we had a conversation. Said, I asked him what grade he was in. It turns out he's actually at the appropriate grade for his age, which a lot of the kids that I deal with are not. Usually they're too old for the grade that they're in because their behaviors have not allowed them to complete as many years of school as they're supposed to. He actually was on pace to, complete school with his fellow classmates in his age group. Although this year he's been sent home from school several times already. School's only been on for 5 weeks. He's already been sent home from school 5 times. So we had that conversation that you can't keep getting sent home from school for fighting, you're not going to be able to complete this grade with all your classmates. You're going to get held behind. That's the eventuality of what's going to come of this. Is that what you want? He said no. And I asked him if he does his homework, and he said yes, and he has a plan for getting his schoolwork done while he's suspended, and his mom is going to help him with that, you know, all these things. And I explained to him, you know, just because someone calls you a bitch doesn't mean you can lash out at them. And he didn't quite understand what I was saying. And I said, hey, look at me. He didn't want to look up, but I was like, no, look at me. I said, I'm a police officer. I'm wearing this uniform. My partner is over here. He's wearing this uniform. What do you think people say to us? And he goes, I don't know. I was like, you know what they say? They say, fuck 12. They say, without that badge, you're nothing but a bitch. Take that badge off, I'll kick your ass. That's the kind of stuff that I hear on a daily basis. The reason people say those kinds of things to me, because they're trying to get me to lash out at them. Like, I'm not a bitch. I don't like hearing that stuff from people that I could literally pulverize into the dirt. If I wanted, most of the people that say that stuff to me, I could beat them until they're nothing but a stain in the ground. There's times that I want nothing more than to do that, but I don't. And the fact that I demonstrate that restraint is what makes me better than those people. And I explained that to this young man, and he said he agreed. I don't know if I actually got through to him or not. But then at the end of that conversation, I said, listen, I know that what you're going through at school is hard. I know that coming home to your mother is hard. But if you're dealing with these things and you don't know how to deal with it, and you're afraid that you're going to do something that's going to get yourself in trouble, you can call us and we will come and we will talk to you. We will take you away from the situation if we have to. We will do everything we can to make sure you succeed. And he said that he would take us up on that. I said, you know, I think we've covered everything we need to cover with you. Why don't you go get your mom? His mom was inside. It sounded like she was on the phone, but she was actually just screaming to herself. The son comes back inside. Couldn't hear what he said, but from her reaction, she said, why the fuck do they want to talk to me? And then she said, you go pack your bags. You're going to your fucking dad's. I don't ever want to fucking see you again. To her 12-year-old son. She comes out on the porch and she was heaving. Like her chest was up and down. She was steaming like a fire-breathing dragon. This woman wanted to murder somebody. She was so upset. And I looked at her. I said, hon, I'm on your side here. I understand why you're doing what you're doing. I understand how frustrating it is dealing with your son and the trouble that he's getting into at school. I understand that it makes you very emotional. And when you're emotional, you're going to say and you're going to do things that you don't mean and that you might regret. I want you to understand that what you're feeling right now is normal. And I know how hard it is for you to deal with these things. I'm just going to ask that you please be cognizant of what it is that I'm telling you right now. And when you are as upset as you are right now, and you're about to do things that you might regret, and you're about to say things that you might regret, I want you to know that you should not be afraid to call us and let us help you deal with these situations. About to turn into the sun. You guys are going to see how white I am. The woman calmed down. It was like a weight had been lifted off her shoulders. And she started to cry. She just kind of put her head down, nodded her head that she understood. I asked her again, is there anything that I can do for you today? She said, no, but thank you. I said, all right, we're going to go now. Make sure you call us if you need us for anything in the future. She said, I will, I promise. So now the question, I made basically the same statement to both people, both of them. They both believe that I am 100% on their side. But they were diametrically opposed to each other when I got there. Is it possible for me to be on both of their side 100%? Or am I a liar?